For the next few days, we're at Oastler Lake Provincial Park in Parry Sound, Ontario, Canada.
Yes, say that 3 times fast.
I've been practicing.
This is a new event for us. We've never stayed at a provincial park up in Canada before. They do have water available to fill up, and there's electric on a lot of the sites. There's 400 and something total all over in individual spots, and I'll point that out a little bit later when we're filling up with the water. I look at our map. You can tell we're doing this backwards.
There's a train going by somewhere nearby. You can hear it, but you can't see it. Registration's right there. Right from the parking lot. Here's this water filling station. And there's spigots on either side for convenient fill-ups.
So the water does take a sweet old time filling up. I figured I'd consult the map while that's going. So we kind of stopped at the park office. They don't have the potable water marked, but it's right here. Okay, so I guess when we leave, we make the second right, because the first right will just take us back out. The second one will be right here, 135 on the left. Yeah, we're not that far from the beach, surprisingly.
We saw something about being in bear country now too, so we have to make sure that we lock up our food.
So we've watched, I wish I could remember the names.
Camping with the Coles.
They're great people. They do a lot of Ontario parks.
Yeah, I think it's Camping with the Coles. That sounds right.
We'll double check and make sure. But they'll say, like, they have, like, there's so many campgrounds here. Like, it's Oastler Lake Provincial Park. But then there's Beachside Campground, Lakeview Campground, The Point Campground, Hardwood Hill Campground, Riverside Campground. So each of those has their own sites. It's kind of weird. But I mean, overall, there's like 32 in the park.
Then once we leave the water filling station, we yield and head out to the camp spots. Poor little truck is still filthy dirty from our time in Palm Brook State Park at Kitchitikipi. Poor thing. Even the heavy downpour didn't clean it all off. Got our site 5. There's our camper and our truck. And there's the beach, and there's a sunset happening, and oh, you love a good sunset. This is site 3. They are odd on this side and even on the other side. We are on site 5 right there through the woods. Each site has a fire pit, 2 picnic tables. I'm trying to locate the power pole on this one. I don't see it. Huh. So Kevin just found the power pole for site 3. It's bring an extension cord. You can just barely make out the site through the trees there.
Same as site 1 now.
This is site 4. Kind of pull through. There's a road on the other side, so that would be convenient. That explains why this reflection is facing the opposite way. Makes sense. All right. Okay, here's another pull-through looking site. This is site 10. And as you can see by all the puddles, it rained as much here as it did in Michigan. Power pole over there, fire pit here. This is site 11. It's quite spacious. There's the 2 picnic tables over there and the fire pit. It's kind of on a corner though.
Yeah.
This is site 21. Also pull through. Power pole there. 2 picnic tables. I don't quite understand it, though I did notice that it's 1 standard and 1 handicapped. And then there's a fire pit that is filled with garbage, unfortunately. So this is a loop. We are actually going backwards in the loop, but we saw 156 open and wanted to get it for you. It's not pull through, it's one way, but it is really long and wide and looks great to me. It's a good choice. All right, here's the bathrooms.
A bank of 6 showers on the outside of the toilets, and they're real nice. Couldn't tell you about the water pressure at the moment, but they look good.
They have canoe rental, and we saw earlier that they have like one of those little mule things that drop off and pick them up for you. So this is the loading and unloading zone for the canoes. We're going to go over to the boat launch to launch our kayaks.
They've got day use parking up here by the front, so if you wanted to come use the beach, it seems like a very popular thing to do.
No puppies on the beach, but this is Oastler Lake. This is all roped off swimming area. Look at it all. It goes way over there. It's beautiful. Well, I guess this is why we chose this one. This one's actually only steps outside of our campsite.
I thought we chose this one because it was the only one we could get.
Well, there was that too. We were having a heck of a time finding a site.
We just needed one spot for a couple nights in Canada on the way home. That's it. And anywhere from we wanted to be as close to home as possible because it's a little over 10 hours, it might be closer to 11, from Munising back to Lewiston through Canada. So this leg of the journey was a little over 7 hours, which means we got just over 3 on the way home. Kind of want to make that a little evener, but
yeah, we tried to get into Grundy Lake.
That was our first choice.
That was our first choice. We could not get in there at all.
No.
Not with cancellations, nothing. It was booked solid. It must be an excellent one. We did stop there for gas. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did. No wonder why that sounded familiar.
There's some pretty purple wildflowers. Water is just beautiful, and the rocks make it so pretty.
The water is not as clear as Lake Superior, that's for sure.
There goes the train. This one must be a long one. It's blown and torn a few times. I can hear it still off to our right, so. Yep. But see our lovely fire?
We got a lot of wood to burn through.
Yeah. Can't go back into the States with all that, that's for sure.
Not supposed to transport more than 50 miles in New York. I don't know what the rules in Canada, but we got a few hundred miles to go to get home.
Yeah. There's recycling and dumpsters.
And they even have a spot for your small propane cylinders.
Oh, yeah.
The dump station is going to be interesting. You come in from across the way, across the parking lot to where I'm standing. You come through here, up and around to the gate where they're repainting, make a right, and come back out this way.
This is Oastler Lake. It's only been 2 nights, but this has been a great stop.